Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome back to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. There's no sugarcoating it. The 49ers seem to reach new lows this season with yet another frustrating loss. Overall, the defense played well enough, holding Seattle to only 13 points through the first 59 minutes and 48 seconds of play. The fact is, the offense should have scored enough and never let Seattle have the ball back. Quite simply, the 49ers got bullied and had one of their worst run blocking games they've had under Kyle Shanahan in years. We're going to dive into the costliest moments of the game and see what went wrong, what narratives might be overblown, and if there's hope for the team going forward. So strap in, faithful. It won't be a long video, but hopefully seeing this puts things in perspective for the team going forward. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. The most jarring thing from the game to me was the inability to execute foundational plays and blocks against favorable looks. From the very first play, we saw this. We're trying to run our wide zone. This is a day one run play, the center of the entire offense, the thing they practice the most. Credit to Seattle for doing something that messes with the run blocking rules, but guys have to be more alert to what's going on. Seattle brings a linebacker down late, and everyone gets thrown off on who they're supposed to block. Saubert is coming around, and he should have a read block here. If the end man stays outside, he's going to block him to the sideline. If he slants inside, he lets him go, and McKivitz will pick him up. That's if there's a second level linebacker. But he never accounts for the movement down to the line of scrimmage, and when that happens, the linebacker is now McKivitz's man. Saubert has to take the end man. Instead, he continues his block like it's a read, where if the end slants inside, he lets him go. But that's your man. Pooney also predetermines his block. Normally he'd be reach blocking the 3 technique, and Brendel would be responsible to get to Ernest Jones. But with the 3 tech slanting inside, Pooney now has to go get Jones. It's a zone block. That's the idea. That's where these blocks came from. A way to combat slants just like this. You're blocking a man in a gap, not a man. This should be a good gain, and it's not. Then 3rd and 3, you end up with a throw half a yard short of the first down. Jennings has got to push this route a yard deeper. Give Brock room to lead you back down the stem away from the corner. Jennings played a heck of a game, but you're giving away possessions when it's self-inflicted wounds. These aren't particularly great plays by Seattle. This is our guys failing to be on their details. The next drive, we came out in heavy personnel with Jalen Moore as an extra tight end. This is a run-heavy set, and the Seahawks are in a 2-deep safety look. You should be able to run against a light box, especially with an extra tackle in the game, all game long. We're going wide zone again, and we have no push at the point of attack with Saubert and Moore. Banks is driven back into the backfield and doesn't execute his reach block. The offense should be gaining yards in chunks. They're daring you to run the ball, and we can't. Here we are again, Seahawks again in a 2-deep defense. We're going to try and run a split flow inside zone. You make it look like a wide zone and have split flow action. This isn't quite the same as a split zone, which looks to work the backside A gap and read outside. This will work the front side A to the backside A. It's set up well to get Banks and Brendel on the second level. You can see it all starts working. Brendel, though, doesn't seem to understand that there's going to be split flow action to draw Jones back inside and just never gets up on Ernest Jones. You should have a big gaping hole in the middle of the defense, but nope. Then you have the ball on the verge of field goal territory, and McKivitz gets a false start. Then both your tackles get beat. We were looking for a deeper pass by running a double dig concept here, and Seattle went cover 3 buzz and took it away. Brock wanted to get to a check down. He's got either Debo or CMC there for at least a 5-yard gain and to get you back into field goal range. But McKivitz had a really slow set and got beat immediately on a speed rush. On the other side, Trent Williams got moonwalked on a bull rush. That's points off the board with back-to-back negative plays on the offensive line. Then you get a drive going. Brock scrambles to the 8-yard line. You're 2nd and 2 from the 8. You're going in to score. But a holding penalty on Banks, and it's just so unnecessary with any sort of good technique. Then you get a good gain on a screen to McCaffrey, but Pearsall is lined up too far off the line. These are just inexcusable, unforced errors. You go from 2nd and 2 from the 8 to 1st and 25 from the 31. A flip of 23 yards, and that's the difference between 3 points and 7 points. That's more points off the board. Then again, 21 personnel with 2 backs and 1 tight end. This is a run personnel, and the Seahawks are in a 2-deep defense. They're giving you the run game. We're going to try and go with the wide zone, and this time double split flow action. You're trying to draw Ernest Jones towards the backside with the split flow action. Brendel can't execute the reach on the 1 technique. Pooney has to attack Jones hard. He's either got to ear roll him or cut underneath him and let him take himself out of the play, but what you can't do is just sit there and let him reverse course into the run lane. This should be a physical run team. You can't run against a light box. Then the game's on the line, less than 3 minutes to go, and you just need to run out the clock. Get a first down or 2, and we can't run the ball. So we first motion Jennings, and the safety drops down, and he's going to be in the D gap. So they want to run at him. We've brought Jalen Moore in again, and we're trying our wide zone. Him and Saubert are way too soft at the point on the edge. It's so soft. Trent is running this play as he usually would, and he runs into Moore, and that's what keeps Trent from being able to seal off his man. This is as weak at the point as you can get in the most crucial of moments. Also, CMC probably misses a cutback here, and he said so himself. You just can't be this bad in execution on your staple play. This is literally the first play they're going to install out of the playbook. This is supposed to be what you are best at, and it's the most crucial moment in the game, and you can't execute it. So, 2nd and 11, we're going to try and run a play action pass. This is the drift, which is something you'll be familiar with if you've watched the channel. And I love Brock. You guys know I do. You know I think he's a great quarterback. But like I've pointed out a few times now, he tends to close off his front foot on some passes, and it causes the pass to yank high into his left. This is something he's done a number of times over the years, and that's exactly what happens here. He's got to tighten up the feet on these throws and hit Deebo Samuel to seal the game. And then on 3rd and 11, a lot has been made about the 49ers protection schemes and audibles or changing plays, so let's dive into this. This is the crucial play of the game. The Seahawks overload the weak side with 4 potential threats. So we're going to have a 4-1 slide that direction. Then keep McCaffrey in the block. We'll have Debo and Pearsall on a juke concept, which is a juke route paired with a curl through route. And then Jennings and Saubert on a Tony concept, something you're familiar with if you watch the channel, which is a protection release fade, paired with a Tony route or a 5-yard out route. A lot has been made about hots being thrown away from pressure. Purdy has 2 hots here. With pressure from his right, the Tony route is the hot. With pressure from his left, the juke route is the hot. What Seattle will do is drop 2 defensive tackles on the side of the slide and be in a 3-over-2 matching zone over Debo and Jennings while bringing the slot on a blitz and then playing man coverage outside. You can see how McKivitz and McCaffrey look to pick up the blitz, and Purdy is throwing hot into the blitz. Away from it, we had the protection numbers. Trent doesn't get out on the widest man quick enough, but we've got 6 to protect against 5 rushers. Purdy should be clean. There's nothing wrong with the protection scheme not being able to account for everybody. And I like the matchup. You've got Jennings on a quick out in a ton of space with a safety. I like the throw. You're leading Jennings back inside, expecting the safety to over pursue. If Jennings breaks his tackle, he might have a touchdown. Game is over. And it is a great, great tackle by them. The issue is the game shouldn't have come down to this. Hats off to them for making this play, but the previous 2 plays shouldn't have forced it to this situation. An unbelievably frustrating game. The team has no margin of error the rest of the way. The times do seem dark in the realm of the faithful, but all we can do is look forward to the Green Bay game and hope for a win. Shanahan said the team was mad after this loss and couldn't wait to get on Green Bay, and you see why. They lost a game they had no business losing. They had plays there to be made and just simply didn't do it. Hope the video gives you some perspective, but like and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to hit the notifications button to be alerted to when a video goes live. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Niners.